What up, everybody? It's your boy Hectic 007. Today, I want to talk to you guys about starting with warranty companies, working with apartment complexes, home warranties, how they pay and stuff, your insurance tools. Try to cover some stuff, see how much I can get into. On my first video, I talked about, how to just do it. Now you have to do it. Just get started. Don't let anything or anyone hold you back. Not even yourself. Um, but when I was looking for information online and stuff like that to see what I can find out that I needed to get in line, so I wouldn't be caught off guard. I couldn't find any videos. If anyone has any videos, put them on the comments. I would appreciate it because I would like to take a look at them because I'm still new. I've only been I've only been open legitimately for about a year, no, more than a year now. But it's going good, and I'm glad I made the decision to go on my own. But it's so far, thank God, it's been going good. I know that the videos that I watched never talked about working with warranty companies, apartment complexes, home warranties, but they never talked about how you approach them and how you talk to them or how you even get a contract with them. So I had to basically, I kept looking and looking, and I couldn't find anything. So basically, in the end, what I just did is, for example, I went on a particular one, I went into their website and I just scrolled all the way to the bottom, and you'll find a section where it's all about like their contacts, about this company and stuff like that. You'll see links like employment or service provider, work for us, be a part of our team, something like that. You want to click on those links because in those links you're gonna come across the information that you need to become a service provider for that particular company that you want to work for. So once you go into those links, depending on how they're set up, some of them will be you'll go into another page and they'll have like an application. You'll have to submit all your info and stuff like that, license information, all that stuff. Some of them they'll only have like a little section where you can put your email and I think your company name, and I want to say your tax ID number, and then they respond to you. Those ones sometimes take a while for them to respond back. Some of them respond back immediately, but you do want to be careful with what companies you do go with. There's gonna be companies out there. I don't want to name drop or anything like that, but there's a company out there. If you YouTube videos, you'll see who they are. But there's a company out there that has kind of assembled a bunch of other little companies together and stuff like that. But they're just scamming people. They're scamming service providers. They don't pay nobody. Anyway, so just be careful with what you do. If you wanna, I would suggest stick to household brands. People, as far as you want to work direct with that company, Frigidaire. With like Samsung, GE, or even Frigidaire. If you want to work for Frigidaire, that's fine. But you want to go to their websites directly, because there's third-party companies out there that are pretty shady. They're home warranties, but they don't do anything. You got to be real careful with the companies that you pick, and you'll start finding out which are the good ones and the legitimate ones. You'll need, like I say, if you want to work with you'll know because they won't ask ask you for anything. They'll just start sending you work orders, and you're like, oh, I got a work order, I'm gonna go do it. But then try to get money out of those people to pay you. You know, that's gonna be the headache. So yeah, when you start getting companies where they're like, yeah, we'll just send you a work order right now, and they didn't get any of your information, yeah, stay away from that. So you go in you go into that information, you go into those websites, so whatever you want to work for, you go. I went into those links, I submitted my applications, or they contacted me, and that's how that started. You know, now I get work orders from different home warranty companies. I get work orders from actual direct companies. And I work for an apartment complex as well. I maintain over 200 like over 200 washers and dryers in their complex. And all these are coin operated, and there's going to be some videos that I have that I'll be putting up for those too, because I know a lot of people are interested in learning how to fix those ones also as well. So I'll be putting up some of those videos. At the apartment complex, I went direct. I went straight direct over there, and I basically presented my business card. I went over there, you know, presentable, with the work shirt, and I told them what I wanted. At the time, they weren't interested. They already had a service provider, and then so I just kept going. But then they call me. They call me, and I guess something happened with their old service provider, and I got the job. So I get to fix a bunch of washers and dryers, you know, coin operated washers and dryers, and they have a variety of brands there, you know, Speed Queens, Whirlpools, GEs. I think that's it right there. But yeah, it's a good experience for me, because I get to I guess want to say learn. Yeah, I get to learn and practice as I go. You know, if I mess up on one, and it comes out of my pocket, but then I learned. You know, but the point is not to mess up. You know, you don't want to go broke. You know, by trial and error. So that's how I got the apartment complex job. I went direct. I approached them, and that's what you might want to try. You know, there might be other methods. You can try email. You can, if you have another way to get in, do it. You know, as long as you get the job, that's good. But again, you're gonna have to be legit. You know, these people don't just let anybody off the street. You know, that says that, yeah, I got a Facebook page, and you know, I do work as a side thing. It's like they don't hire side hustler people. They want actual service providers that know what they're actually doing. So your paperwork has to be in order. You have to have the correct paperwork. Your insurances, you know, some insurances, you'll depending in your area, it'll vary on price. You know, some places may require you to have special endorsements. Some of them require you to have commercial insurance on your vehicle. It just depends. Depends on your situation, depends on your area, depends on your contracts. So I can't really tell you what insurance, hey, go get this type of insurance, this is what you'll need and you're good, because I can't tell you that, because I don't know what your area is like. In my particular area, I live on the border of Texas and New Mexico, like literally, so I have to have two different types of insurances, and I'm registered in both sides. I have paid two different types of taxes. So it's but it's part of the game. It's part of being legit. What else? Let's see. Tools. You're gonna need tools. Most of the tools that you get, you know, you don't have to go out and get the most expensive tools that you can get your hands on. You know, Harbor Freight has a multitude of tools that are at a fair price. You know, some of them are not the best, but they are good to get you started. You know, a lot of these tools that you use for appliances and stuff like that, you have already. You know, screwdrivers, socket sets. You know, hopefully you have a multimeter and stuff like that. You know, but you'll need tools. You know, as you go, you'll start learning what it is that you'll need. Maybe I'll make a video of my tool bag, and you guys can get an idea of what it is I carry. Because I got a Milwaukee backpack that I carry, and on that I carry all the tools that I know that I'm gonna consistently be using at any visit. You know, and then I carry another tool bag that's just for like odd tools that I may need. You know, and I rather have it and not need it, and need it and not have it. You know, so that's a good thing to have. Is a multitude of tools. Your drill. You know, you don't have to go get an impact or like I said, the most expensive. You can get something small. You know, the smaller the better, but as long as it has good torque on it, because some places are hard to reach and stuff like that. So you want it to be kind of compact, but with enough horsepower so that you can take off a screw or a bolt if you need to. And though your tools, your tools you can also put on your insurance. You know, depending on your area, also like I said, and the type of tools you have, you could put your tools on your insurance, and it'll get covered. You know, if someone steals your stuff, you know, hey, you know, at least they were covered. Or you lose one, or you forget one at someone's house. You know, whatever the case may be, you're covered. You know, don't depend on the whole. I bought it at Lowe's, and this particular brand says lifetime warranty. Yeah, it's a big lie. I rather buy Harbor Freight tools and just take them right back, because they don't ask any questions. You know, the other stores, the big stores, man, I don't know about your area, but they want a child just to return something. But anyway, that's a different story. But yeah, I mean, you need to get these things on hand. As I don't know if there's any other questions you guys may have, put them on the comments. I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. I'm trying to think of what else I can talk about, but pretty sure I'll have to make another video. I'll make a list, and then I'll go with that. But yeah, those are things that you're gonna want to know. Actually, yeah, the way they pay. Let me talk about the way they pay. All right, so many people don't know this, and I didn't know this. I thought it was just like a regular job. Every week I get paid. It doesn't work like that. So when you come into this, it doesn't take much money to start an appliance company. You know, if you have a good, I want to say $5,000, you can start an appliance company. You know, let's say 2,500 of that, depending on what all you need. You know, if you don't need too much, if you have like a pickup truck already or something that you can use to move around in, and to actually use it as your work vehicle, because it's gonna be your work vehicle. You're gonna consistently be using it, and it's gonna get dinged up. About $5,000, you know what I mean? Depending on what it is, all that you have, about $5,000 should be sufficient for you to open up your own appliance repair company. That's buying tools and stuff like that. And then the other half, you want to say, I want to say about anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000 you should have as a little bank, for the things that you're gonna need. Because the way it works is, I'll give you some examples. I'll give you an example with warranty and the home warranties and the warranty companies. So with them is you'll get the work order, and then You'll have to contact the customer. You'll ask them, what the problem is. You'll schedule the appointment. You'll get to their house. Once you get there, you diagnose the problem. Then you're gonna have to report back to the company and let them know, hey, this is what I found. And then, depending on your area and I guess your dispatch or whatever, because I get different things from different people. So lately, from what I've been getting, is if they don't have the part available, they'll allow me to get it from my distributor, which is the same distributor that they get it from, but I feel like they feel more comfortable knowing that they send it directly to me from the original manufacturer. That way I can't buy one like from Amazon or eBay or anything like that and say it was the original one. Even though my service provider is their same service provider, their distributor is the same distributor, I get the same parts that they do. But I think that's what it is, So anyway, the only time they'll allow me to get them is when they don't have them. That's when I can actually get the part myself, and at that point I have to pay out of pocket, for the part, come and install it and everything, and then I submit my invoice, and in that invoice you submit, what you purchased and everything. It's gonna have to have a receipt. You're gonna have to have everything, all your information, part number, the model number, serial number of the appliance that you put it to, what work order it went to, all that stuff. You're gonna have to learn how to use those portals or platforms or dashboards, whatever they want to call them. Everyone calls them differently. Those are gonna become your new Facebook, because you're gonna be on there all the time. So that's how that works, And if you mess up on your invoice or you forget to write in a part, you're gonna either have to submit another invoice and call them and go through the whole long process over the phone, and do another one, or you're just gonna have to basically eat it and you're not getting paid for that part, So don't forget to invoice your parts. That's how they work with those parts. Warranties, warranty companies work like that, and home warranties work like that, and then let's say apartment complexes. And apartment complexes also, for instance, a few days ago I had to buy, I believe it was like a couple of water pumps, for some washing machines. So I give them the invoice from that particular day of what I diagnosed throughout the whole day. I give them the invoices, and I have already on there, parts and everything, how much it's going to cost, how much it's going to cost to get repaired, the total, and why it needs to be repaired, I submit it to the manager, and the manager looks over it, and then at that point, they let me know, yeah, go ahead and buy these parts, or no, you know what, we're going to have to ask corporate if these parts are actually approved, because they go over the authorized limit that we have. So at that point, you're on standby for those particular parts, but as long as you're under a specific authorized number that they have, you can just go ahead and purchase the parts. But that's what that bank is for. That bank that you have separately is basically to purchase these parts, because you don't get paid every week or every 2 weeks. What they get, the way they pay their system, and pretty sure it's everywhere, but put it in the comments if I'm wrong. They work by what's called a 14 net or a 30 net. Depending on the company that you're with, that's how you'll work. Meaning, if I submitted my invoice today, I get paid for this invoice and any other invoice I submitted today. So if I submit 5 invoices, 30 days from now, I get a check for these 5 invoices, or that 1 invoice, or the 3 invoices, or however many invoices I submitted this day. That's how that works. 30 days from now, I get paid. But if you have set up a direct deposit, then that becomes a net 14, which is a lot better, because you can see your money a lot faster direct deposit. And in some instances, some companies won't even go the whole 14 days. Some of them will do it by the end of the week sometimes. I've seen some checks that come in by the end of the week, as long as you submit it early. I want to say if you submit if you submit by Wednesday, later than midday, 12 o'clock, you're not seeing that money until the following week. But if you're before that time, I've kind of, from my experience, I already kind of caught on that, if I get these invoices submitted before this time frame, I'll see money for those invoices at the end of the week. But it just depends on how your guys' system is worked out with your payroll. But you'll need that. You'll need that bank, because if you don't have the bank, where are you gonna get parts from? You're gonna have to borrow money from somebody or tell the people, I can't do it. So if you want to get into the warranty companies and home warranties, and you want to work for apartment complexes or laundromats or whatever the case may be, you're gonna have to have a bank. You're gonna have to have a bank because that's the way this works. When you do your own little things, independent stuff, someone calls you, hey, I have a broken washer, can you come and fix it? Sure. At that point, it works a little bit different, depending on who you're working with. At that point, you could either charge the customer up front for the part, and then you let them know, hey, look, you buy the part up front, and then you pay me for the labor when everything is done. And that kind of feels the customer a little bit better, because they're like, all right, cool, I'm paying for the part, but I'm not paying you anything until that part is put in, And when you're legit, people know you're legit. When you're a scumbag, people know you're a scumbag. And you don't want to associate yourself like that. You know what I mean? You want to act professional. You want to be professional. You want to everything professional, because that's what you are, and that's what you want to be looked at, because some of these people, they run their mouth, and, when you do a good job, they go and run their mouth to 5 people, but if you do a bad job, they're running their mouth to everybody, 20 people plus, and their Facebook and everybody that they're friends with their mom. So, yeah, you want to do it as professional as possible. But you need that bank. You need that bank because the pay system for this is not like your regular job where you're going to get paid every week or every 2 weeks. But depending on how you have everything set up, you should be okay. Your first check, most like, depending on the company and depending on the bank, but most likely, my experience, my first check was an actual check. My first check actually was a net 30. Because I had just started with them. I wasn't fully in the system and stuff like that. And it's when you get started, it's kind of a headache, because you're gonna be consistently calling your rep, for your area for help, and then eventually you kind of start being like a bother. I know I want to say that I kept calling, probably every day for like the first month or two. Because the way you submit invoices and everything is on portals, and every portal has a different customer service, and some of them, some of their customer service is just really poor, and so yeah, that's kind of about the most I have right now. I'll make a list of what else I have, so I can talk about it maybe on the next video, more details. But if you guys have anything else, any questions, any concerns, comments, pointers for me, put it on the comments, man. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'll try to put more content out, and hopefully help out everybody else, to get out of this hole that you're in when you're working for somebody else, because there's not a better feeling than having your own company and doing things the way you want to do it, but at the same time, it is your company, it is your business. You got to run it like a business because it's still a job. So that being said, holla at you, boy.